In the previous video, we did a rendering, right, of our scene. It should probably come out something close to this. It may be a little brighter, a little whatever, but not worried about it. I'd probably begin to add, I've got a little shading area right in here. I'd probably add some more lights, definitely redesign the lighting, maybe some uplighting on this fur down right up here, some under counter lights there. There's a variety of things, but this is just to kind of show you an example of kind of what you do and how you do it in relationship to lighting. Um, so let's get into the next to the last step, and that is I want you to create a new sheet. We created sheets earlier for our other assignments, uh, which assignment number 7 sheet looks something like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to move this title block over to the left side over here, where it would normally be on things like construction documents, things that you roll up. Okay, and one of the reasons title blocks are normally for construction documents are here is because those particular documents are usually printed out and rolled up. Now that may begin to change as we get further and further away from paper. Um, but what we're going to do is create us a title block over here. And to do that, we're going to go in and we're going to just select, we can edit this family. Okay, so that's probably the simplest way to do is get in there and just edit this family. And then I'm going to do File, and I'm going to save as, of course, a family. And it's going to take me to title blocks here. And then I'm going to go down, and I've already done this once, so I want you to rename this new one. Our existing one is D24 by 36 horizontal .rfa. I want you to rename it vertical, same thing, dash title vertical. Okay, and so with that done, it says it already exists. That's fine. I'm going to have him override it. And now we're going to come in and rearrange the title block a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do is grab the organizational name. That's of course the title of our class, as well as, whoops, come on, I got to get the, so that's the title of our class. And once again, I would just move it in there close and then use the arrows to kind of nudge it into place. Don't need that much space for that. And so I'm going to kind of line that up on that. And that should work pretty well. The next thing is that we have some text here that has GA in it. I'm going to hit the tab key here until I can get a hold of it. And I'm going to pull it down over here. And same thing within the label, right? The label is separate. And it is, oh, I don't want to do that. I just want to move that. And so here's the GA. Let's rotate it 90 degrees. And we'll move it into place. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I'll space it like that. And then we'll do the same thing with our client name. Now, of course, that's your GA's name, goes in the client. And it should already be there in the start file. Well, it won't be in the start file. My name and Taren's name will be in the start file, so you need to change that to yours. Let's go grab this. And once again, this is just text. This is not a label, technically. Come on, grab that. So we're going to line students up here, and we'll just line it up with that. Okay. And then we're going to grab the author, which is you, and we're going to move it in here, rotate it around, once again, 90 degrees, and pull it in here. The last thing we're going to do is this project name. And I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, okay? This is a placeholder. It tells you the limit and the organization of that particular label, how it's going to be presented in your, and I'm going to rotate it over and we'll line it up. The top of that text, and we'll do the same thing here. We'll just line all that up with the top of that text. And then since there's only 3 letters in this, A08, which is the assignment, all we need is the P, the R, and the O, and maybe the J as a space. And so what I'm going to do, so that it is not floating out, I'm just going to move it over here, but leave it expanded. You know, I could draw it in here, okay, but it's going to flip it to another, you know, project name. So we're just going to do that. I like the way it's centered, and you'll see what happens here in just a few minutes once we load it into our drawing. So now I've got this with a title block on this side. And the reason I do this is because when you roll the sheet up, as I explained before, okay, you should roll it up with the drawing on the outside of the roll, not on the inside. Most of you roll yours with the drawings on the inside to protect the finish, and that makes sense in some cases. But in this case, it's better to roll it to the outside, and 2 reasons for that. First of all, if I roll from this in with this being on the outside edge, then when you put a rubber band on it, I'm going to be able to see your name and your GA, and your GAs are going to be able to see your name and GA in the roll. Okay, that's the reason construction documents have their title blocks on this, usually vertically along this edge of the sheet. Second is that when you roll it with the drawing on the outside, okay, when you unroll it, the curl is trying to close, you know, roll back into a cylinder, is against the table. If you roll it with the image on the inside, okay, then the curl is to the top of the table, and it will try to, and it'll just roll up on you. So it makes it much harder for us to read them and grade them and stuff. So let's roll it with the image on the outside from this edge, roll it in to the, so that this is on the outside edge, and then put a rubber band in it and drop it in front of my apartment, my office. I'll get it right here in a minute. Okay, so this is done. We're just going to load this in. We're going to do a file and save first, okay, and then we're just going to load it into the project and close it, and then it's in a sheet right now, but we don't want to do that, so we're going to create a new sheet, and we're going to create a new sheet, and we're going to use this title vertical, okay, and it should be highlighted, and so it's going to bring it up, and you'll see now, see there's my A07, here's my my name, and of course my TA, Taryn Roberts, or my GA, and then you can see Architecture 2351, and that's her section. You need to make sure that you correct all those, and so that looks perfectly fine with me. If I didn't like it, what I could do is do the same thing I did before. I could click on it, I could say Edit Family, I could go back into the family, you know, I could nudge this some here or there, or I could rearrange this or change whatever I wanted to, and then of course load the project. Do I want to save my changes? Yes, I do. And then yes, load it into the project, and it will override it. And so now we're ready to put our views into our sheet. And so that's what I'm going to show you how to do next.